Hi, this is Jean Henningsen with Monarch Leadership Group, and this is part of my interview series entitled Leading Through Crisis, Making a Difference. And here with me today is Roseann Fricks. She is the CEO of the Early Learning Coalition of Marion County. Welcome, Roseann.
Good morning, Jean. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. We are happy to have you. Please tell us how things have changed at the Early Learning Coalition since everything started.
Well, things have certainly drastically changed. Our team, the majority of our team are working remotely from their homes. We have management team that comes into the office on a daily basis. And then once a week, the rest of our team half come in the morning and half come in the afternoon so that we can touch base and have meetings and that type of thing. So from our team standpoint, the work continues, certainly, but we are not all in the same location at the same time, but the work continues. For our families, the need is tremendous. And we've been fortunate to receive funding for childcare for our first responders and our medical personnel. So in the last couple of weeks, we have had over 200 calls from members of the community that are eligible for that, and there's no income requirement. So if they're employed in one of those fields, we want them to not be concerned about children so they can go to work and take care of us. So we've already enrolled 121 children into childcare here in the county with those additional funds.
Wow, that's fantastic. So it's no cost to the first responders?
It's very minimal cost because we have a contract with the child care providers because they're private businesses. And so any differential is the only thing. The coalition may pay like $24 a day, and then a parent comes along and with the differential, it's a $4 a day or something. So it greatly reduces their cost, especially if they're a private pay customer at the childcare provider right now. So we do have that through June 30th too.
Oh,
So if
that's
anybody is
wonderful.
interested, they can certainly look at our Facebook page.
Okay, wonderful. And what about your office? Your office is actually closed, right?
Our office is closed with our management team here. We do have opportunities, like we were able to purchase some supplies for our childcare providers. All prize toilet paper kept behind locked doors. But we have toilet paper and paper towels and cleaning supplies. So we will arrange pickup times, if you will, for our providers. And we've also been blessed to have just size one, but diapers for some of our partners whose parents need diapers are so expensive and are also difficult to find right now. So the office is open as needed during the day for specific pickup or drop off. In fact, we had a partner come by this morning and pick up some diapers.
Oh, that's great. And if individual parents need supplies, they can come by as well.
Yes, but they need to call. They do need to call us because the door is locked and no one is out there working because management team are all in their work areas. So we can't, and I don't have a bell. That's one of the things I've learned is that I need a bell on the front door
Oh, right.
because the door is locked and our building is large and you don't hear it. So I've got a sign out there to call a number, but they do need to call ahead of time and make arrangements so we can have everything ready for them.
Right, right. And to make sure you have the supplies that they need.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good. So you have some people coming into the office, a lot of people working from home.
Yes.
How are you leading, Roseann? How are you managing everything with this new environment?
Well, it certainly has been a learning experience, and we certainly continue to learn a great deal. We have daily team or department phone calls so that all of my family services department talk each morning with their supervisor at 10 o'clock. So I can get in on any of those calls, but we do have contact with all of them. The other new thing that we're using is called Teams on our computer. And it's kind of like an instant messenger thing. I'm learning it and I've messed up my share, but it allows us to instantly message with everybody. So they all have to check in the mornings and let us know when they're on the computer. And then throughout the day, we can communicate with them that way as well. So it's a lot of increased communication because they are not physically in the building.
Okay, so upping the communication has been key for leading them. What about connecting and checking in with them on a one-to-one basis just to see how they're doing? Because I keep hearing from friends, neighbors, clients that everyone's responding to this working at home and being in isolation differently. And we can all have different things that stress us. And I'm just curious, and I know a lot of people watching this, a lot of leaders out there, they want to know, how are you staying engaged with your employees so that you know which ones are stressed and which ones need help?
And one of the ways that we're doing that is on Mondays, we have half the team come in the morning and we sit down and have an individual meeting with them to get a feel for them, to be able to read the body language that you can't do through instant messenger and that type of thing, so that we can ask them. And you know your team members, so we are aware of those who live alone or have minimal family around or whatever, and can ask them. And one of my first questions that I always ask them is, are you comfortable being here? Because some of them are concerned about being with other people. So we do have one-on-one conversations with them, person to person, face to face, at least once a week. And then we're able to make adjustments as need be for the team members.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. So, have they felt comfortable being in person one to one? I mean, because I don't know if you have any high risk employees, but even if you don't, some of them may have a family member that's high risk. And so, I would think that, they might be a little uncomfortable. And if they are, how have you been able to get past that?
Well, flexibility. So we're fortunate enough that our team want to be here. And I have had some of our team come to me and say, I need to be here more than half a day a week. So we work with those situations. Now, on the reverse side of that, we've had a couple of team members that said, I just don't think I want to do that. Okay, fine. And they don't do that as well. We continue to communicate via the internet, Teams, phone calls, that type of thing. So we are able to work individually with them. And because of the nature of our business, which so much is going to the computer and, online and that type of thing, that they are able to be effective while working remotely.
So, it sounds like your team has responded pretty positively to this transition and this switch to working virtually.
Yes, they absolutely have. And like I said, when we initially started conversations, as we know, this happened so quickly. And I definitely believe in a team environment. So I call the management team in and say, let's talk about this and let's explore some options. And it was for me as a leader of the organization, it was definitely reassuring to have so many say, I want to come to the office to work. So they felt safe in the environment, they felt secure, they felt comfortable enough that they wanted to be here. Now it got to the point after a couple of weeks, because we went to just a couple of days a week first. And as that progressed and things progressed with the COVID-19 situation, we said, okay, that's it. I need as few people here as possible. And we had some of the members of the team that said, I want to talk to you because I want to be here more than that. I'm more effective. I feel more comfortable here than working at home. So it's been an interesting experience for me.
Yes, yes, I bet it has. And for those that may not be familiar with your office, I want to explain that your office is very large and there is lots of open space. And even if you had someone working next to you, I mean, if you could just work at the next office over, it creates quite a distance
Mhm.
in your office space. And I think that is an advantage that you have in your office space, is that it's easy for you to create the distance.
Yes, absolutely. It's 20,000 square feet, so it's easy to put 10 people in here and they could just about not even see each other on
Mhm.
any given day. And additionally, we rent some of our space to the Homeless Council, and they are an essential service right now too. So they are in the back of the building and are able to also be here to ensure that they're providing services to the population that they serve.
Right, right. Well, that's good to know. So, how have you, as the leader, been able to take care of you and specifically maintaining your physical, mental, and spiritual health?
Well, of course, physical health involves chocolate.
I agree with you 100%.
You have to have chocolate, and then that motivates you to get active, my philosophy. Um,
Love it.
no, I enjoy being outside. That's my physical and emotional and mental release is being outside, whether it's walking the dogs or digging in the dirt in the yard. I enjoy outside. It allows me an opportunity to leave all the electronic devices inside, to meditate, to pray, to just be and recenter myself when I need to do that. So that's a big thing. And I like riding my bike. Just let me go. Especially if it's hot, that's okay because I know where a shower is and it works. So I'm good.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. And you have been smiling a lot throughout this interview, and you and I have been in communication as I have the honor of serving on the board at ELCMC. And I have to say, I have not heard a negative word come out of your mouth since this whole thing started. And that is huge. When it comes to leadership, is maintaining that positive attitude and being able to lead by example and show others that there is hope. And being negative or focusing on what isn't working, whether it be at your organization or in the community, that doesn't help the team that you are leading to focus on that. And so I just wanted to highlight that and acknowledge you for the amazing perspective that you have been able to hang on to during this whole thing.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Jean. That means a great deal because, yes, I do try to focus on the positive. And one of the things I talked to the team about is what's a positive for you. And everyone has come out and said communication. So in trying to analyze that and think about that, because I do analyze things, I think it's not so much the increased communication, but the fact that what's being relayed is emotionally, I care and I'm concerned about you. And it comes out through the communication. So it strengthens the relationships that we have with people. And that's a very positive thing because we are all in this together and we are going to get through this. And yes, we're all going to have the moments and the sad times and the stories that hurt to hear or be a part of, but we've got such a strong foundation. That's what we can all rely on.
Yes, indeed. And as so many of my interviewees have said, we are stronger together, which is essentially what you just communicated. So, yes, thank you for that.
You're
Now,
welcome.
ELCMC has done a lot,
Mhm.
continues to do a lot for our community. You
Mhm.
already mentioned the money that you were able to procure from the state to provide the low cost childcare for the first responder families.
Right.
Supplies are still being offered to parents if they want to call and come by the office. What else has your organization been able to contribute to the community during this time?
Um, our strength lies in our relationship with our childcare providers, because without them, none of us would be able to go to work. The Since we've been in the COVID-19 situation, we have had some providers close their doors,
Mhm.
and working with them more closely, more intensely, to determine what else can we do to ensure that they are able to reopen their doors, because they're all small businesses. It's 200 of our small businesses in this county, and we need every one of them.
Yes.
So working to ensure that there is adequate capacity for our parents, so that when the calls come in for childcare, there are sufficient opportunities, because that's probably one of the things that we are concerned about when we reopen everything. What's going to happen to our childcare businesses? Are there some that are closed that will not reopen? And where are those parents going to put their children when they go back to work and the kids are not in school yet, type thing? So we are working real hard on that, on the capacity for our childcare providers. We had to, unfortunately, cancel our parenting classes because of the CDC, social distancing, et cetera. So we're exploring different opportunities there. And one of the other projects we're not able to do at this time is the intense book distribution that we do almost every day for our community. But having said that, we have in our parking lot, we posted it on Facebook, a little free library. Parents can literally just come into the parking lot, drive up to the library, and have their child pick out a book and take it home and read it and keep it, or bring it back, or exchange it, or whatever.
That's
So
wonderful.
literacy is super important to us, and we want parents to know that opportunity is available for them. And with staff here, we are able to check and make sure there are a number of books out there on a daily basis.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really good to know. And I'm so glad that the library reopened because there's so many kids that are bored. They finish their schoolwork and then they have nothing to do, but their parents are at home trying to work. So that's great to know. And your office is located right off of 200. It's so convenient. It's across from Hobby Lobby. For anybody that doesn't know, you turn north off of 200 right by Hobby Lobby, and that's wonderful. So thank you for mentioning that. So,
Absolutely.
what can the average person do? And I hear this a lot from friends and neighbors and clients that, they don't work for an organization such as yours that can provide resources, that can, has supplies that they can share. What can the average person do, in your opinion, to help us through this crisis?
Smile, uh, you know, remain as positive as possible, and to um, reach out to people, maybe not physically, but reach out to people that um, you can do something positive for, whether it's a kind word, whether it's a nice email, whether it's a funny whatever. There are a lot of opportunities for us to be kind and sensitive and gentle with each other. It's easy to get caught up in the negativities and how come I can't go get my nails done and my hair done. It's easy to get caught up in that, but on the flip side of that, there's so many things to be grateful for and thankful for. And sharing those kinds of emotions, to me, all of us have the ability to do.
Yes, yes, I would agree. And I've read a lot of things on social media about we can't reach out with our hands, but we can reach out with our hearts. And
Yes.
I think that really sums it up. I also saw something which was really funny ever since they said, well, wear a mask every time you go out in public. They said, well, now that you can't smile at people that you pass by in the grocery store, wink at them. So the first time I went to the grocery store, here I am with my mask and my gloves, and I'm winking at people. And I got the funniest looks. It was great though, because then it cracked me up. And I thought, how could that not make them smile? That this person that they don't even know is winking at them. You know?
Yeah,
And I
that's
didn't care. I may never see them again.
right. That's a good idea. I'll have to remember that. I just get so focused on walking down the aisle in the right direction, or I get in trouble now. It's like, oh no. But
Yeah.
that's a good idea. I'll remember the winking.
Yeah, remember the wink.
I will.
Well, thank you for that. That is very simple, but it's deceptively simple, isn't it? To remain positive and to smile and wave. I mean, we're waving constantly, you know, in the neighborhood as we're walking the dogs, and because we're all in this together.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So thank you for your time today, Roseann. We really appreciate you and all the staff at the Early Learning Coalition for everything that you've been doing for our community and our families, and especially those first responders. I know they must be incredibly grateful.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. And we're just a part of a small team that makes Marion County great. So we're thrilled to be a part of it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jean. Nice talking with you. See you soon.
Yes, indeed.